Now coming to, I think I'll go to Professor Brajbhushan first, who is looking at his email. He's also Dean of Administration, so he's quite busy. And thank you very much for joining. And he's doing wonderful, I think, job in incubating a company which is Cute Brain. And he's basically psychology person, and so he can probably that connects his passion to go for this particular area. And it is a very socially very important topic where he's addressing the problem of children who are not really differentially able, but they are very slow learner. Am I right? And with the help of visual aids and the games and jigsaws and puzzles, he's trying to improve their learning capability and bring them at par with the best in the classes. So I think we would like to listen from you what prompted you to go for this product. And if you have faced any problem, or if you have, you see that the policy, of course, you are part of administration, still needs some improvement that you can highlight.
Very good morning to all of you. The work on specific learning disability that Professor Srivastava mentioned, specific learning disability was something that we started a little later. But right since the beginning of my academic career, one primary area that was always attracting my attention was the focus on neurodevelopmental conditions. Children who are not born with the mental hardwire the way rest of the kids are. And these kids would have all kinds of problems. But of course, you cannot focus on all kinds of neurodevelopmental disorders. So our focus was only on two disorders. One was autism spectrum disorder, and the other one was a specific learning disability. The work on autism spectrum disorder started long back. 17 years ago, we started our research, but the work on specific learning disability started much later. Somehow, we could conclude the work and come forward with a solution with respect to a specific learning disability much earlier compared to autism. So, in 2019, we came forward with a solution. But before I go into the details of the solution, just a brief history of how we identified the children who had a specific learning disability. You might have seen between IIT and the end of Kalyanpur B2 Road, at that time we had 11 schools. We approached all of them and we simply asked the teachers of classes 1 to 5, those who were teaching English, Hindi and Maths, to tell us the name of those students who, according to them, are duffers. Just a one-liner. And all subject teachers identified some 5 to 6 children in their classes. And believe me, this exactly matches with the prevalence rate of SLD. The prevalence rate is around 13% in any given classroom. This was exactly what the teachers had identified. When we asked the teachers, the school authorities, the parents, if they were aware of any issue with the child, none of them said yes. And of those 60 kids who were identified in the first go, except one, everybody was screened for a specific learning disability of certain magnitude. And all these parents were professors, civil servants, engineers, doctors, teachers. So all of them were well educated. Despite the fact that the parents' educational background was pretty good, they were in a decent school where high fee was being charged by the school. Neither the parents nor the school was aware that the child has a neurodevelopmental condition. And then we started developing the intervention, which was specifically to cater to early detection of dyslexia and to help minimize the effect of dyslexia and dysgraphia. Dysgraphia is when your handwriting starts becoming extremely awkward. We developed it. Fortunately, we got grant from the Government of India, then Ministry of HRD. And within 2 years, we could come forward with a solution. When we went back for validation, we found that this product was yielding a result with 92% or above accuracy level. And we were extremely glad to have this. But I must confess that at that time, my idea was that we will wait for somebody to demand for tech transfer and I'll be happy with that. I never wanted to venture into the area I am right now. And thanks to SIIC, their team came to me first in, I think, 2019 to tell them that you can go ahead with a startup. And I was still reluctant. And then it was 2022, they again met me. In between, COVID was there. And this time, a 5-man delegation from SIIC came. They did not bother me too much, but they left me with a bug. For next 50 days, I was troubled day and night. I was thinking that I had a brilliant idea. I had a validated product, but because somebody is not asking for it and I'm waiting for tech transfer, so is it that I will be left with a regret at the fag end of my life that I had something that I could have given back to the society and I did not? 15 days later, I just once called my wife and I said that I have this idea. I'm going to pump in some money into it, more time and resource into it. It might succeed, it might not succeed. And without hesitation, she tells me, if you feel that this is doable, go ahead. Next day, I made a call to SIIC office that I'm going to register for this Cute Brains Private Limited. And this is how the story began. With respect to neurodevelopmental condition, especially specific learning disability, because parents will have a feel, बच्चा सीख जाएगा, अभी छोटा है. And schools will think this child is useless, he doesn't put effort and therefore cannot learn. And that's the reason high degree of ignorance still exists in the society. Fortunately, we got two kinds of interesting partners. JK Group here in Kanpur, they were very interested to have an agreement with us. And now, along with Quest Academics Private Limited, which is part of the JK Group, we are into sensitization program for parents. The first phase has recently been conducted and we'll go ahead having series of such awareness sessions. So JK Group has been very instrumental into this. Another interesting feature was somehow this name came up before a foundation in Pune. There is a foundation called Anjali Morris Foundation, which works exclusively into the problems of children with a specific learning disability. And Anjali Morris Foundation along with the Ministry of Education of Sri Lanka, and they are also planning to launch a sensitization program there before they go for early detection and intervention. The last thing, we are very close to a solution that we are again going to offer in terms of early detection of autism spectrum disorder. Again, just click the photograph of a child above the age of 3. We have tested it only above the age of 3. The child walking in any environment, use your mobile phone. Just based on the gait pattern of the child, we will give you a red flag that this child is having autism spectrum disorder. There are subcategories. Again, this is not a clinical diagnosis, but with more than 93% accuracy rate, it can be detected. So these are two solutions that Cute Brains Private Limited is taking to the society.